But HQ was the big thing.
HQ is just a huge, massive change for the series, and I think it's something they're going to keep moving forward. They didn't say that, but there's no way if this takes off that they're not going to put it in the
if
next
it takes off.
And it will.
So want to explain what it is?
Sure. So normally in multiplayer, you queue up, you go to your lobby, and then you join a game. Now, instead of doing that, you are in a 48-person instance before you're queuing up for any games and stuff. And you can walk around there. You can participate in all kinds of stupid activities. Like you can go to the theater. You can watch professionals play in there, like watch Twitch or whatever.
This is cooler than you made it seem. So you're walking around this environment.
It's a
bit like the theaters, like in Red Dead, right? Where you can like walk in there and you can just then sit down with all these other players, and they'll just like have Twitch streams of like the championships of Call of Duty and stuff. Unclear if they'll have, but it's like a projector showing it like on a tarp
in black and white.
No. I wish. Although we didn't see it, but I cannot imagine. That'd be so cool.
I honestly think that once you sit down, it's going to like queue it up in a browser or something. It's not going to actually be in the client.
So
but
really,
I don't know, but that would be. I would be surprised.
Yeah. It's a fully realized world, like with living kind of NPCs that you're a part of.
Hang on. Yes. Okay, so this is D-Day +3. So that's what it's modeled after. So when all the supply trucks and everything had come in after the invasion.
It's the cover of the new issue of Game Informer.
It is the cover. So you got supply trucks and everything, boats, flag held high. And this is a zone you actually can walk around in and interact with people.
It's kind of like a circular path. You can't like go run down to the water and stuff like that. It's kind of like a defined area. But then there's like doorways for all the different areas you want to go to. The easy analogy is the tower from Destiny.
It's an easy analogy. I don't know if it's completely accurate, but sure. You know what? It's in the same ballpark, so we can use it.
It pops you into third person by default. You can't shoot walking around the area.
You show off your gun, basically, though. It's on your back. And there's proximity-based voice chat. This is where you open your supply drops. So, when you get your crates, which at least on launch are going to be cosmetic only. We don't know about after that.
There was a lot of framing, like, during the launch window, we were going to keep it cosmetic only. It's like, okay, I see where this is going. And also, there's expressions you can do. You can, like, sit down. You can throw a ball around.
The emotes, and all these emotes and loot are period specific.
But that's like sitting down when people used to sit down.
Well, I was just about to ask if you can do, like, anachronistic dances.
Well, that's exactly this is the point, is they also said for that, launch window.
Okay.
At launch, it's going to be period specific, but
anything
it might get
after
wacky.
that.
So I can do Gangnam Style in there in a couple months.
Well, they talked about like the weird things that happened during playtest, and they said
it would seem so wrong, especially for this game.
Oh, it would be absolutely wrong.
Well, they mentioned that at some point during the testing that everybody just without really communicating this formed a giant conga line, and then we're marching around.
Like PlayStation Home.
Exactly. So that's what I'm looking forward to, is the weird shit that comes out of this.
Some of the other significant stuff you can do in there is a awesome firing range that has like splatterable watermelons and points for different targets. You can challenge other people to matches at the firing range.
So you can duel, or you can have like firing range challenges. But the weird part is other players can shoot at the firing range while you're trying to have like this competition. Like imagine a 1v1 in like a classic Zelda shop where trying to use the bow to hit all those toys. Except there's then 40 other people behind you also shooting at all those.
For one thing, 40 people can't line up at the range, and for another thing, if you do want the 1v1 experience, that's another thing you can do. In the HQ is the 1v1 battle pit. Just you versus another player, and other people can watch.
And you can ban one weapon going in.
Yep.
Also, there was an option I saw about boxing.
There's one weapon ban.
Curious how that's going to work.
There's one weapon ban, and you basically queue up for it. So you're like, I want to engage in the games, and if it's the old school arcade style. So winner stays, loser gets bumped out. So if you're really good, you could stay in that pit cleaning house for some time and get some reputation that way.
It seems fun. I mean, it's a small arena, but I love
it's a little baby arena of like crates, and you get one weapon ban. So you're like, I really don't want to fight against that stupid thing. I'll ban that thing.
Yeah. The interesting thing overall, talking about HQ, is Sledgehammer, and it seems like Condry, studio head specifically, is talking about like, hey, you're going to have a social score, and the goal for this game is we want this social score to be as popular as the KD ratio, or as important. And you get social score if you do nice things. If you're a cool person in HQ, you can get a thumbs up, a little bump. And in theory, it's like this morality rating within Call of Duty.
To be clear, they hadn't settled on a name for it. Social score is the
is that
studio
right?
abbreviation for it. It might not be called that on release. Just want to make sure that's clear. Also, the social score stuff. Do
you think it's going to take off in the way they expect it to?
As far
as being as important as KD?
So there's also daily and weekly quests available at HQ. Some of them have to do with going into HQ and interacting with other players, or doing stuff like playing in the pit. But the other ones will take you out in a multiplayer, and you get credit for stuff there. And that all goes into increasing your social score, which ostensibly gives you better loot drops.
And it's, talking about walking around that environment, they also want to have like events like, okay, everyone's got to man the AA guns.
Yep.
There's a crazy event happening in the social space. And then also weird things like there's one area that you couldn't get to because there's like a general standing there. Like, you must be level 40 to come in here, soldier.
That's the prestige zone for players who play Call of Duty. They know what the prestige system is like. Basically, when you prestige in this game, you'll go to the special VIP area with the general.
It's Pride Rock.
And yeah, exactly. It's Pride Rock. And he'll promote you in front of everybody, and you'll get a big call out, and then you'll get prestiged. So it's way cooler than just being like, yep, I prestige, cool.
It is true. It'll be a moment, like someone in your group's like, oh, look, they're up there. There's fireworks going off. This is crazy. They finally did it.
And you open your crates in town, too, and people around you, if you score a cool piece of loot, they will also get rewards. So, like, it behooves you to go, like, hang out with your buddies while they open their loot and see if they get anything good, because you will, too.
Dan, 1 month.
It's kind of crazy, actually.
It is a wild idea.
What are the odds? This is all just basically
that's all proximity.
Giant. This is all just a giant. And this is like a giant lobby. More or less, that it's sort of the new hangout between multiplayer matches.
Odds of it becoming a starter island in PUBG style shit show.
I mean, 48 players. Yeah. I don't think it can. Like, you can't.
But
shoot
nothing
your gun.
happens there.
Yeah,
right?
you can't shoot your gun or anything. I can't see this happening.
But I'm going to go ahead and say 100%.
Okay, I mean, I just cannot imagine a world where it's not going to be just
conga
people
lines jumping.
That's fun. I'm just worried about N-Bomb City. Everyone running around that space screaming at each other.
That's no different than what you have to deal with in any multiplayer game that uses a mic.
I'm just saying, I think they have very high expectations for this, and I don't know.
But it is just proximity based. So you
can turn it off.
What is the proximity? Like 5 feet, 10 feet?
It's real life. It's close. Yeah, it's real life-ish.
Yeah, real life.
You're not just going to go in there and have a screaming.
Just 40 people constantly.
No, see, you have to be close. All right.
No, I think that might work.
Cool. I think it sounds really cool.
You're putting the worst spin on it. I think of it more like, hey, that's really cool. You've got the Mountain Division ghillie suit. What rank do you need to get that? I really want that.
Yeah.
You know what this reminds me of weirdly? Is
that does happen. It's not just people screaming. I play a lot of these games.
This is kind of like the Dragon Ball Xenoverse lobby structure.
Oh, what is that like?
It's like it's kind of like the Destiny area, but it's much wider, and everyone has like their different clothes that they can show. It's just like a sort of tangential, like kind of reminiscent.
And what is the kind of emotional impact of walking around that space?
It's the best part of that game.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Is it kind of like a Splatoon style Miiverse support community,
but bigger? Yeah,
but no one's screaming and just making a disaster of the
everyone's dancing and doing all kinds of
everyone's dancing. I think that's great. Yeah. If everyone takes the space as being silly, I'm all for that.
There's some that will, some that won't, and if they're not, just pop into a game because that's what you're there for anyway, ostensibly, right? You want to play the game.
Can you have a private HQ if you want, just for your clan?
Interesting.
I don't believe so. That was not. I mean, because I think it just pops you out into an instanced version of it with your friends if they're there. I don't know. We didn't get any specifics on that, but anyway. Yeah. I think it's a really cool feature, and
it's interesting.
I don't think the series will ever, they didn't, obviously they don't know if it's going to carry on from game to game, but I certainly think the series is going to keep that running. I just can't see them going that far and then dialing back.
Thank you so much for watching this excerpt from the Game Informer Show podcast. You can subscribe to the audio version and listen to new episodes airing every Thursday. We cover big games on the horizon, games that we've just reviewed. We have long-form developer interviews, a lot of fun stuff, so check it out every Thursday.